All right, we're setting it up.
2.
Waiting to go live.
Fire. Fireworks.
Here
all
we
over the
go.
place.
All right, awesome. We are now live. Okay.
Yes.
We have Amalia here and Stefan. We're in this together doing a card reading that relates to relationships. We're talking about the divine masculine and divine feminine energies within relationships, within ourselves, and pulling cards that relate to the theme of relationships, the parent-child relationship. And whether you are a parent or you are a child, you have that, or you're a parent of a child, you're gonna be able to tune into this, whatever place you reside. So for myself, I'm both a child of a parent and I am the parent of a child. So I'm that little Oreo center in the middle. So this may relate to something that I can think back to with my parents, or it's something that I can maybe relate to with my own kids. So wherever you might fall in that spectrum, just allow yourself to listen and tune into the energy that might be present for you, what messages might be coming through. Today, depending on where you are, I feel like I have to mention the eclipse energy that's at play right now. The eclipse in Aries, it's a new moon, it's a total lunar eclipse. It's actually a hybrid. So we have both a total solar eclipse and we have an annular eclipse, which means as the shadow of the moon moves across the sun, there's this ring that you'll be able to see across the sky. And it's only visible in Indonesia, Australia. So if you live there, awesome. If you don't, there's some places online that you can check out the live stream. And as an aside, if you are interested in learning more about the moon and how it affects you and the cycles, you can sign up for my kindness correspondence, where I share all of this moon magic with you every 2 weeks. So
yes, let's do it.
Yes, but today we're talking about relationships. So Stefan, is there anything that you wanted to share or add before we get started and share our cards?
Well, relationships are all about synchronicity and all about getting along no matter what is happening in between us. And if we are finding order in disorder, which is what we are trying to do now, because I've been delayed by the energies, which means that at times when you are being delayed by something, you just need to come back at center, taking responsibility and apologizing. Let's say I've been the child in this way and I've been naughty, and you've been the mother, and you've been here waiting for me for 15 minutes saying, where is Stefan? Where is Stefan? What is happening? Is it still coming? I'm here now. I apologize, mommy, for I don't know what has been happening, but I have not had the calendar updated. So now as the child apologizes to the mother also says, it's okay. You are understood. You are loved. I get it. Next time, let's try to make it better and be here in time. So what I want to say before start is that regardless of what opportunities life is offering us, the children, the parents, we are needing to be here and now and take responsibility to make them better. And how we're going to make them better, but through revealing the cards. I'm ready in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. So what I'm having here is the 3 of Cups, which when it first came, it was upside down. Now, I'm going to turn it back so we can have clarity upon what we see here. Because it resembles 3, the number 3, of course, first comes into the mind because we see 3 females working together somehow, supporting themselves and being together in a co-creation, a co-manifestation. They are in a place of peace. We can see that. And how does this present itself to be part of the communion between parent and children? Well, we all know that the parents and the children are needing to work together. Always. They are masters at co-creating if they are able to work together, support each other, and make sure they look upon one another, not as the parent being the master and the teacher and the one that knows it all, and the one that guides the child, no matter what the child says, but the one that is also learning from the child. So what we are having here is that regardless of what height we have, regardless of the color of our hair, because we see one of the female representatives here are having black hair, the other one blonde, white hair, and the other one I think is blonde towards red. Regardless of the looks that we are having, and regardless of how our bodies are presenting themselves, regardless of our age, regardless of the experience that we have, we need to bow down to one another and make sure that we learn to co-create together, in making sure that we are open and humbly accepting that the intelligence and the life force energy in the other one, no matter how old or how young they are the same life force, as wise, as intelligent, as open to learn as the one within us. So this card is definitely teaching us to embrace each other's openness to learn from each other, because our age doesn't mean that we are masters over the other one, or we are knowing better than the other one. Yes, there are experiences that have taught us so many things, but that does not mean we are masters over the other one. So I'm talking to the parents here, which are not needing to work together with their children through mastering their child, but through guiding them with love and supporting them and making sure that their child, that they know that their child is the best partner they can co-create anything with. What do you see in this card, Amalia?
Yeah, so I love what you were saying about the parent-child relationship, and that the parent is not the master. And I believe that is definitely true, except for when they're very young, because the child doesn't have the capability of taking care of itself. So the parent is the caregiver, maybe not master, but definitely the caregiver, the guider at that point. The child, the baby, if it doesn't have the ability to speak or communicate through verbal cues, like articulated cues, there will be some sort of communication and some sort of learning that both the parent and the child can have together. The three women, to me, that represents creation. It represents unity as well. What's interesting is there's, like you had mentioned, the three women, three different types of women, different color hair, different color skin, different types of clothing. The fact that it's the Three of Cups representing emotion. It's that emotional pool that we all are in, especially as parents, and children. If we get reprimanded by our mother or our father, we might feel sad, or we might feel angry. There's an emotional response that emerges for us to move through, for us to access and learn from, and vice versa. So that's kind of the gist of it from my perspective.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I recognize that to be, in truthfulness, exactly what I see from your eyes and through your eyes. And to be honest, I can't blame parents to saying, hey, in telling your child what to do is wrong. But as you were saying that the Three of Cups is the representative of emotion, we need to make sure that the way we as parents are expressing to the child comes with love. We are guiding them and even telling them what to do with love. Hey, would you like to accompany me to wash the dishes together? Would you like to accompany me to clean the house together? Would you like to clean up your toys while I'm having this conversation with your father, or if the father is saying this while I'm having this conversation with your mother? So I feel that it's not about the parents mastering one another either. It's important also, as we see the female energy, which means the unconditional love, the empathy, the emotion to always be there present, to make sure that also in the conversations that the parents have with one another is also in front of the child, coming from love and with love, meaning the witnessing. And whenever the children are witnessing the mother and the father having a conversation, to make sure that what they see and what they hear is understanding. And even when there is a disagreement between the mother and the father, for them to see, and even for them to be involved, not to be sent in the room, to be involved in saying, hey, me and your mother, or the mother saying, hey, me and your father are having a conversation about this situation that happened with us at work. Would you like to listen to us while we are trying to find a solution? Rather than saying, hey, go to your room. This is not a place for you, because they want to feel part of the family. They want to feel part of the solution, because otherwise, if we send the children into a room while we as parents have a conversation that needs a solution, they might go into the room, but they might feel blamed. And the children end up with the belief in their subconscious mind that they are guilty for the situation that their parents are constantly at disagreement for. So if they are being involved instead of being sent into their room, they will feel that they are part of the solution rather than part of the problem. So they will end up feeling good, worthy, capable. They will feel responsible, even if they are very young. That's what I'm seeing so far in this female energy, which brings a lot in the family. Empathy, being the one of the first that I see here. Yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and share my card, Stefan.
Yes.
One small follow-up to yours that I feel like I have to mention as a parent is that there are times that as a parent, it's not appropriate to involve the child in the conversation. And as a parent, to have the conversations together with your partner privately. So after he or she goes to bed, having the conversation, sending your child to their room, like a punishment when having a conversation, obviously would be a poor choice in my opinion, but everyone's got their own style. Including a child in a big conversation around handling something at work or whatever, again, to me would be inappropriate, because they don't have the mental capacity or the experience to be able to be a participant in that conversation, and may take from that conversation something that isn't accurate because they don't have the knowledge or the foundation to build upon it. Which is how oftentimes beliefs are made, through not having that access to that information. So I think that's a great point, but I would add nuances to it. Just some small.
Yes. It raises new questions, of course, and it's good to conversate, to clarify everything we are opening up to, because yes, the child doesn't always have the understanding that the parent has. That's clear, because they just barely literally came into this world. And because of that, they might want to get involved, to feel connected, to feel that togetherness with their parents, including, let's say I come from work right now. The mother of the child sits right there. And let's say I have trouble with my colleague or with my boss, because he's not understanding me and appreciating me in offering me a raise, right? Well, how would the child be able to participate in such conversation? Well, I would say to the child, I feel that I've done more at work and I've offered more. Of course, if he's going to be 2 years old, I'm not going to have that conversation with him. But if it's like 7 or 8 or even 9 or 10, I feel that I brought a lot of value and I've changed this company for the best in the past 2 years. And I feel that I deserve more. I feel that I need to be appreciated more. Do you feel you've done something in the house maybe that we haven't said thank you for that? Maybe you've been cleaning your toys for the past 3 days and we haven't noticed it and we haven't seen it. So I think it goes both ways. In whatever situation we have at work, we also can find a way to give them an example based on what is happening in their life, in our family.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a great point. You know, being able to see the parallels between work and home and what lessons are there. If there are any, sometimes there might be, sometimes there won't. So, all right, let me share my card with you all. And actually, hold on, I need to stop that share for 1 second and change something really quickly. Managing all of the technology while doing this myself and going live is an extra layer. Okay. So let me see, make sure everything looks good on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, we're good to go there. All right. So, you know, here we have this card that is very much tuned to a similar energy that Stefan, your card had. And that is, you have 3 women. So I don't know if you can see the women.
That's amazing. Yes. That's so great. Wow. Divine attunement right here. Beautiful.
Yeah. So hold on. I think, let me make sure. Yeah. Okay, we're good. So there's 3 women. There's one in the foreground, one in the middle, and one, it looks like, in the background. And the card is trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So to me, this means a number of things. One, I think that the synchronicity with the 3 women is really interesting. I think it's also interesting that in both of the cards, their backs are to us. They're moving in a different direction. They're moving either away from or towards something. So as a parent, your goal is to support your child in being able to leave home and participate in society and in the world in a way that is beneficial, you know, whatever that is. You know, as a parent, for me, and my not anymore husband, their father, we chose to parent them with the intention that they would go out into the world being kind, honest, loving, productive, compassionate. So there's the emotional parts of it, but there's also the action part, because, you know, the emotions are great, but you also need to take some sort of action in your life. So then there will be those times where, you know, this looks a little bit barren. However, there's some lightness and brightness. There's rocks and there's trees growing out of the rocks. So even if you're in a period of time that might feel very hard or not very alive, like you're not feeling in tune with whatever it is that is happening in your life, there is life, there is growth, there is something happening, even if you don't see it. There's water. Again, you had the 3 of Cups. I have this card, which brings out that watery, emotional quality. I love the sky in this card, the purples and the pinks and the greens and the yellows. And there's this darkness, but yet lightness. And, you know, in this time of eclipse, we have the darkness, the lightness. We have the beginnings, the endings. We have this sense of timing. You know, there's divine time and there's earthly human time. And in earthly human time, we're always in a rush. We always want things now. We want to be where we want to be. And it's really about divine timing, trusting the timing of things to unfold. And that includes with your children. You know, you might be in a rush for your child to sleep through the night. You might be in a rush for them to go to school so that you have more time for yourself. You might be in a rush for them to get their driver's license so you don't have to drive them places, whatever it might be. It's just trust the timing. Trust that these children that came into your life, or you as a child coming into your parents' lives, was divinely orchestrated, divinely timed. It was all perfect. Time is not running out. I feel like with that phrase on this card, it's important to note when it comes to being a child of a parent with parents that are aging, that their time on this earth may be running out, but their time as a spirit never runs out. They're always present. They're always with you. My father transitioned a few years ago to another space and time, but he's very present with me still. He shows up often, and is a really beautiful guiding force, a very solid foundational piece in my life, as are my grandparents. So it's this, you know, culmination of a number of different areas of parenting and being a grandparent or a grandchild, similar sort of energy, a little less pressure, I think, with the grandparent energy than as a parent. So I think that's a pretty good nutshell of what I am seeing and experiencing with this card. So Stefan, did you want to give a brief overview of what your take is?
Yes, I love it. I already see an obstacle here. Like the first rock here appears to me to be a big obstacle. And the same time, it looks good. So it depends from the perspective that you're looking at, meaning that a child, and throughout the child's journey that is on his path of becoming a teenager, they will face a lot of obstacles, a lot of situations where they will need a lot of understanding for. They will need a lot of patience for. They will need a moment where they actually sit down with someone, meaning with one of their parents, that will be ideally, to speak about this obstacle that appears into their life, to teach them something, to open their eyes to a greater reality. If in this case, the child opens up to the parent, that is the ideal situation. And why am I saying the ideal situation? Because normally the parent and the child need to be one and working as one no matter what. The child needs to be fully open to the parent, and the parent fully open to ask the child with love what is happening in their life and what is it that they are going through that they need emotional support for. We see in both of the cards empathy. We see the water. We see the female energy, meaning there is a lot of love and a lot of communication needed. For the life of a teenager or the life of a child that goes through life requires a lot of openness and a lot of trust that they can speak their emotions, that they can speak that big rock that they are having inside of themselves, maybe with trouble at school, maybe with bullying, maybe with something that they have been through that they haven't shared with and that has been piling up over the years or over the months or over the weeks. And with that, they require support to open up and not be facing criticism, not be facing judgment, not be facing you've done something wrong, not be facing arguments. Because if the child, can trust that he can open up to the parent and be receiving love and support and understanding and help with that situation that he has been through, no matter if it's been his fault or someone else's fault, as long as he feels that he can open up and receive support to solve that in a safe environment, that child will grow to be one of the pillars of light for the new society, because he trusts that he can open up emotionally without being criticized. He trusts that he can open up about everything that he feels inside that feels like a rock and feels like a burden, without fearing that he will add to that burden, to having a conflict with the parents if he will open up about that problem. So I feel that this is to do with trust and with children opening up to their parents and talking about the difficulties that they are facing in their life. And we see 3 women here as well, meaning that the path ahead needs to be always rooted in love, meaning the parents always say to the child, you can trust me with anything, no matter what. And for the child to feel that, he can receive that support from the mother. And also other way around, whenever the parent is going through something after a particular age, they can open up to their child, because their child can be their greatest friend. And through the tough lessons that the parents can express to the children as well, that maybe are teenagers now, and they can have free one-to-one conversations about their own difficulties, because you're not burdening your child or expressing that which you're going through. You're actually saving your child, because you're helping me see ahead of time what he can go through as well, and what he can improve in his life to not manifest the same difficulty that the parent have had. So through sharing each other's burdens between our teenager children and parents alike, we can teach the child to not go through the same life experience that we've had, to not go through the same problems, and difficulties that we've had throughout our lifetime. So I see communication and facing those struggles that we're going through, and openness to trust that no matter how big the burden is, we can open up to one another, knowing that we are one family for a reason, to communicate freely with each other. That's what I see in this.
Nice. So I'm going to stop the share here, come back.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's a lot of goodness in the parental energetics of relationships, and being able to come together and hold each other's hand and walk the path together. But sometimes walking that path together, we need to diverge and go on our own path, and that's okay too. So yeah, so I think that wraps up our card reading, relationship card reading for today. We're in this together. If you want to reach out to Stefan or myself for any guidance or support, there is information below in the description where you can reach out and connect with us. And we'll see you here sometime next week. Stefan, anything you want to wrap on?
Yes, we're in this together. So any type of help you need, I can say that I'm really good with healing whatever the body is going through, whatever imbalances the body has, from emotionally or physically. So whatever help anyone would need with balancing their physical and energetic body, I'm here to offer that help freely at times. Depending on the circumstance, you might not always have the money, so that will be absolutely fine. I'm able to work with everyone and share the gifts that I have, because I have them for a reason, to share them. So do not hold back one bit on Instagram, and we are responsible at gmail.com as an email address for you guys to send your inquiries, your questions.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you here soon. Bye for now.
Ciao.